Today I'm going to tell you my story of why I hated high school. This is going to be probably one of the most personal videos I've ever made, and I'm going to be very vulnerable and open with you guys. But before we begin, there's probably a couple of details about my high school that I should probably let you guys know about. So in my high school, there was two main huge groups of kids, and they were the hill walkers, which were basically the rich kids that lived in the hills, and the bottom dwellers, who were the poor but tough kids who lived at the bottom of the hill, aka the valley. The hill walkers thought they were better because they were rich, and we thought we were better because we were tough. That's right, I was a bottom dweller. And ironically, my best friend was a hill walker. We're just going to call him Manny, and we met in middle school and became close ever since. But we'll talk about my friendship with Manny later. Before that, let's talk about my friends in the bottom dweller community. I had three close friends from my neighborhood: Ray, Bobby, and Jimmy. But I was always a little bit closer with Jimmy. And just like Manny, we also kind of met and became close in middle school. Now, growing up as a bottom dweller, we didn't have fancy cars, we didn't have a lot of money, we didn't have what the rich kids had. So we had to more or less just improvise and find our own ways to have fun. We skipped school together, we fought together, we
Yeah.
got in trouble together. But it was around my freshman year of high school when all of this changed, and I realized that I had to start making different choices. You see, at the beginning of freshman year, everybody was required to write an essay, and that essay was supposed to entail what we wanted to major and study in college. Now, a lot of my friends in the bottom dweller community didn't really know what they wanted to write about, and myself included. I wasn't sure, being a freshman in high school, what I wanted to study in college, so I just thought logically and realistically, and I chose structural engineer because I knew that it was a good
Cool.
job, and I knew that if I really wanted to, I could probably do it. And just thinking about that essay made me start thinking about my future, and I started to realize that if I continue making these choices, skipping school, not doing my homework, overall just wasting my time, I'm not going to end up anywhere. And it was at this point in my life where I more or less started hanging out less and less with Ray and Bobby and Jimmy. In fact, I actually tried to hang out with the popular kids, and this is where Manny
Yeah.
comes in. You see,
I used
me
to
and
do
Manny
that
were
back in
always
7th
close
grade.
since middle school, but once we both got to high school, and the divide between the hill walkers and the bottom dwellers really hit full circle with everybody, it was kind of hard for us to associate with each other, but I did my best. I started doing more events in track and field and started making more friends in more places. I even did something I was always afraid to do, and that was join the wrestling team. Me and Manny started hanging out more, all the while Jimmy and the rest of the bunch just continued doing their own thing. Everything was good for a while. I was making friends. Manny was inviting me to hang out with him and other hill walkers at his house
Nice.
and parties. But unfortunately, that's where it starts to take a turn. We're all in this till the end.
That's one
Mr.
ad.
Skywalker. You see, despite the fact that Manny and I were friends, his friends didn't really approve. Dude, why do you keep inviting Terry to hang out with us? Well, what do you mean? I mean, we're friends. You know, he's my buddy. Yeah, but he's a bottom dweller, dude. Yeah, so? So he's not one of us. Look at him. He doesn't live here. He doesn't dress
So
like us.
judgy.
I'm surprised he hasn't gotten kicked out of school yet. Dude, he's chill. Don't worry about it. He's not one of us. As
So
much as they tried to convince Manny to turn against me, he wouldn't budge, but that still didn't really help with the cold shoulder I received from everyone else every time I went to hang out with them. And so my high school career continued. Although it wasn't the smoothest, it was steadily moving along. It was now my second year on the wrestling team, and I actually improved a lot since last year. Until one day, it was during my first match of the season. I was going up against a kid who had a better record than me, but not a better technique. Come on, Terry! Let's go, Terry! Pinned! The referee blew
hey.
the whistle, and just like that, I had won my first match. My team chanted and cheered for me. My coach gave me a big pat on the back. Good work, Terry. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it up. And I was excited because this was the first time that I actually got to be the starter, meaning I got to be the person whose matches actually counted for my weight class. And unfortunately, this is where it all starts to go downhill. Hey, you got my iPod? Yeah, why? Give me it. Come on. Now, the thing about being on the wrestling team was that there was a certain trust and camaraderie that flowed through the entire team. And because of that, we trusted each other. We had each other's backs. And we trusted each other so much to the point that not only did we shower together after matches and practices, but we also never locked our lockers. Hey, come on, hurry up. That day, as I was sitting out on the court watching the other matches next to my coach, that's when they snuck into the locker room. Come on, hurry up. Which one's his? This one. He unzipped my backpack. He put his iPod inside, and then zipped it back shut. Alright, come on, let's go. I had no idea that this would be my first and last win. After the match, Corey told the coach that his iPod had gone missing, and he was worried that somebody had taken it. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, ask around, see if anybody's seen it. If you can't find it, we'll have to check in the lost and found in the morning. Unimpressed with the coach's response, Corey went over to my locker as I was showering. Isn't that Terry's stuff? And then he pulled out his iPod. Is my iPod part of Terry's stuff? Coach! Terry, get out here. I had no idea what was about to happen that day. Can you explain this? I found this in your backpack. All the other boys were gathered around now. They started whispering, murmuring. What do you mean you found that in my backpack? You went through my stuff? Terry, is it true? Did you take his iPod? No, Coach, of course not. Why would I take his iPod? I have one at home. Probably wanted it so you could sell it or something. Corey, shut up. Look at me, Terry. I'm only going to ask you once. Now, you can be a man about this, and I want you to be honest with me. Did you take it? No. All right. Everybody, go home for the day. We'll settle this with the principal. What? Coach, you know I didn't do it. You know me, Coach. I thought I did, Terry. I really thought I did. After that, as you could probably guess, I got kicked off the wrestling team. Even though I was willing to take this to court, because even though I wasn't planning to be a lawyer, I remembered enough from one of my AP history classes to know that because Corey went through my belongings, my stuff, without a warrant and without my permission, anything he would have found in there and tried to bring into court would technically be seen as null and void, meaning that I would have won. At least, I think. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. Unfortunately, the school didn't see it that way. You see, they didn't want this to get out. They didn't want a student going to court against another student just so he could stay on the wrestling team. To them, it seemed like the little guy versus the big, huge school that gets tons of state funding. And that's something that they could never let go public. And so my only choice was to accept being kicked off the wrestling team and face no other punishment, or I would be suspended indefinitely. Yeah, that's not even exaggerated. That was actually what they told me. After that, I realized that there really is no place for me here amongst the Hillwalkers. But at least I still had Manny, right? But Terry wouldn't do that. Well, he did, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I found it in his backpack. Everybody knows about it. The teachers, the coaches, us. Now it's up to you. What do you mean? You need to make a decision, dude. Is it gonna be him or us? They left Manny no choice. He either had to drop me as a friend, or they would drop him. And to be quite honest, I don't entirely blame Manny.
If I was a Hillwalker, I'll just drop them and just be Terry's fan.
Just hang out with the bottom dwellers, right? Right. As time passed by, I realized I had no friends left. Eventually, I called Jimmy and asked him to meet up. We met down by the docks, which was a frequent hangout spot for the bottom dwellers.
God damn it.
Well, well, well. Look who it is. Is that a Hillwalker? I don't know, I can hardly tell. Very funny. I'm just playing. So how you been, dude? Well, I can't say I've been worse. Oh yeah, why's that? Because you got kicked off the wrestling team? I didn't say anything, but I guess news had already traveled to Jimmy about what happened. You just couldn't resist, huh? You stole Corey's iPod. I didn't steal anything. You know I don't do that anymore. Yeah, anymore. I mean, we used to do it quite often back in the day. Yeah, that's a long time ago, dude. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, because you left us. To go hang out with a bunch of Hillwalker pansies? You know why I left. Oh, sorry. To go shower with a bunch of sweaty guys after you've already rubbed up against them enough. Go fuck yourself. I'm just busting your chain, dude. I didn't say anything, but just looked off into the distance. That bad, huh? Look, man, I hate to say it, but we miss having you around. I mean, heck, I miss having you around too. I miss you too, man. Yeah, well, what are you doing later today? Just gotta finish some homework. Alright, man, after that, come down to Bobby's. His dad's out of town, but he's got the cable password so we can watch anything on demand. You know what I'm talking about? And then what? And then, I don't know, maybe smoke a joint, see who wants to play football. And then what? And then, I don't know. I could see if Hannah could sneak us out any of her dad's whiskey. And then we party. And then what? And then, I don't know, I go home, I wake up, and I do it all again. Why do you keep asking? So that's it then, huh? You just go around chasing every temporary high? What kind of life is that? What kind of future? I mean, what are we even doing with our lives? Don't you get it? There's so much more to life than just this. Maybe for you, Terry. But not for guys like us. Yeah, you're right. Because unlike you, I'm gonna get out of this town. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, I'm gonna be somebody. After that, I stopped talking to Jimmy, and we
Wow.
went our separate ways. It was at this point that I just couldn't wait to graduate. Even during lunch, I would get my food from the cafeteria. I would look around, hillwalkers and bottom dwellers both. There was no place for me there. I would take my lunch and leave, and go to an abandoned old stairwell. And there, I would eat my lunch every
That was
day
me back in
by myself,
elementary.
because it was the only
There was like
place where I
no
felt
place
like
for
I could
me.
be alone,
Like I
and the
wasn't
only
smart, I
place where I
wasn't
felt
cool,
welcome.
I
Once
wasn't really
graduation came, I
intelligent, so
held
there
my
was
head
no
up
seat
high.
for me, so I just sat
I
alone.
walked on stage, shook hands with the principal, and kept walking. And I never looked back after that. Anyways, that's my story, and that's why I hated high school. Okay, can we just pause for a second? Holy crap, is this guy dramatic or what? Hey guys, it's me, Anime Terry. I just wanted to point out that I know this video came off as super down and super sad and super dramatic, but I wanted to let you guys know that my entire high school career wasn't all drama and, just moping around. There were definitely happy moments and times that I miss, but when I think about my time in high school and I try to just condense it down to one singular video where I have to cut a lot of stuff out, then I feel like this video does a pretty good job summarizing what the overall feeling was. So with that being said, there might actually be times where I touch back on my time in high school and it might not actually be a sad story, it might actually be a happy one. Anyway, so that's all I really wanted to say. Back to you, Terry. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Good night.
Good night. Whoa. Like you guys should definitely go check out Terry TV. He makes like the best videos. So yeah. God damn it. So yeah, so go check him out. Um the original video is gonna be in the description, so I'll see you guys in the next video. And do you guys want me to react to more? Let me know.